you. How about you, brothers?
Yeah, Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Bashim, Shalom, brothers. Right, I'm Pisang Sagalo, and this is the I.S.U.P.K. right here in Trinidad and Tobago under command of General Yohanna. Right, so tonight we're going to go straight into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the angels, how the angels, people that say the angels have sex with humans. That is not true. Right, we're going to talk about that there is no female angel. There's only men angels, no female angels at all. Right? Then we're going to touch on, well, of course, this New Year's, everybody's celebrating New Year's. Right? Well, of course, the year does really begin between April and March. Right? Around April, March, that's when the year does really begin, not January the 1st. Right? So, give me Genesis 6 and 1. All right, we'll start off with the humans. We'll start off with that. All right. That, of course, is a myth, just like what they're trying to say. The vaccine that does, you go into some zombie, forget the vaccine. All right? Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them.
Right. So it came to pass when the men began to multiply on the earth, and the daughters were born unto them. Go ahead.
Verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Right. So the sons are the Most High, so the daughters of men. What are you talking about here? Anybody? The sons are the Most High, so the daughters of men. Anybody know what they're talking about?
Good information. Right, so the sons of the Most High is the lineage he chose. Right, there's some Adam, you come to Adam, then you tell them before Noah, right? Before Noah. You know that lines. You want that he used to even basically he gave Noah's commandments, instructions to, right? The people Adam, they would see the people he don't deal with, right? People that wasn't given instruction, they don't know how to run right, they don't know how to live right, how to operate, how to think. We don't mix it. He didn't meddle with, he didn't give instruction to. He saw them daughters, which is not his children or not the people he did deal with. And these men decide that they want to intermingle, they want to what we call interracial marriage today.
Right. So the sons are the Most High, who the Lord chose. The daughters of men, so the Lord didn't choose them. So to make people understand, the Lord have a group of people who he loves. He has another group of people who he doesn't love. Who he told us is stay away from those people. Right? The daughters of men is the people who the Lord told us to stay away from. We have nothing to do with them. We separate from those other people.
Right.
Right? The sons are the Most High, who the Lord chose, who the Lord loves. That's his sons are the Most High. Right? So I'm ready to go back in verse 2.
Book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 2. And the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men, that they were fair.
Right? So the Lord's chosen people was watching the East Indians, the Chinese, the white man, So we as black people who the Lord chose, we watching the white woman, we watching the Chinese woman, we watching the African woman, the East Indian woman. Because we find that it can fair, meaning beautiful. Right? Where?
And they took them wives of all which they choose.
Right? And they took them wives of all which they choose, right? So again, the Lord never said to intermingle with them other races and have sex with them other races. That is a sin according to the Most High. Right? Give me Luke 3 and 38. Yeah, Luke 3 and Let's see.
Book of Luke, chapter 3, and verse 38.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of the Most High.
Right. So, right here. So this is the precept from that will be verse 2. Right in Genesis chapter, talk about the sons of the Most High. Right. Was I reading over again? Verse Genesis 6 and 2. Well,
The book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 2. That the Most High saw the daughters of men.
Right. So the sons of the Most High saw the daughters of men. So when you read Luke 3 and 3, they tell you, you know, who are the sons of the Most High? You understand? The son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of the Most High. Right? So those are the people who the Lord chose from Adam's descendants. Who the Lord chose. Right? Them is the son of the Most High. Let me see Genesis. Where's Genesis? 4, 26. We get Genesis 4 and 26. Genesis 4.
Of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 26. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and his name, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon God.
Right? Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Yeah. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Right, so
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32,
verse 8.
and verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Right, so when he divided the nations and gave them the inheritance, that was when he separated the sons of Adam. Right, so not just because, you know, we come from Adam, means is all the other nation. Is a particular race of people that came from Adam who the Lord loves. Right? Today we are known as the children of Israel. Right? There's a certain particular people that came from Adam. Right? Not because we all come from Adam means we all love everybody. It's a particular set of people, as I just said here, when the Lord separated the sons of Adam, he divided the nations. You understand? So not just because we all come from Adam means that. Right? So that erase that conspiracy about, you know, the men angels had sex with the women and all kind of garbage, right? That erase that about that. Right? So we're going to talk about the archangels and them now. I don't know if we have time to give me Tobit 12 and 14. Yeah, Tobit. Right? It had different angels, right? You know, okay, Raphael was the angel of war. You all know what? Raphael. You know what he was about? Oh? Raphael was the angel to heal. Right? Then Uriel, you heard it's pronounced. That is the angel for courage. Right? So yeah, we're gonna get that down. I told it.
Can I go?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
The book of Tobit, chapter 12, and verse 14. And now the Most High hath sent me to heal thee and Sarah, thy daughter-in-law.
Right, go ahead, verse 15.
Verse 15. I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels, which present the prayers of the saints, and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One.
Right, so he let you know, hey, I come to heal and I'm the angel Raphael. Right? When you read that, you know the angel, that angel Raphael is the angel to heal. Right? It's a one Uriel. Uriel, they could find that in second Ezra, right? You didn't have to find the scripture for, but you could find this one in second Ezra from chapter 4, from verse 1, read straight up. You have to find out that angel Uriel, he just gave courage. Right? Then of course we had Gabriel. Everybody know Gabriel for the messages he does give out. You know, one of the big messages he gave out, all the famous messages, that message that he gave out was in Luke, when he was talking to when he was telling what's her name again? Mary? Or the son Christ, right? What you have in the baby is going to conceive Christ. Right? That message that he gave to her before she was pregnant. Right? That message that Gabriel gave to her before she was pregnant. And of course we have Michael, the angel of war. Right? It's called him Daniel. You could find that, Daniel. Right? I wonder if it's one in Romans too. Let's see. Alright, so let me get Zechariah chapter 5 verse 9.
Book of Zechariah, chapter 5 and verse 9. Then lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came out 2 women, and the wind was in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven.
Who are these on the Van Bible Dictionary here? Anybody have it? Yeah, look up what's the ephah. The ephah. Yeah, shalom. Yeah, what's EPHH, right? ephah. We need to work in there. So what?
So like I said, not this one, I'm saying EPH.
EPH, all right. Okay, right, yeah. So what you gotta look up in weights and measures. Look up weights, look in weights and I think it's supposed to see EPHA, what it means. You could just again there. So what? Let's see.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 5 and verse 9. Then lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came out 2 women.
Right, so this we talking about here, it have no women angels, right? Christians and fake some of them fake Israelite groups and them that say it have women angels, but it have no women angels. Right? So he lifted up his eyes and there came out two women. Now, this here is just another vision that Zachariah. This is like the second vision he was seeing. When you read higher up in the first vision he was seeing was the vision of the chariots. Right? So this here was the second vision Zachariah was seeing. Right? And of course, Christians just read this here and say they came out two women, so that they thinking it have women angels. Right? But again, this is just a vision that Zachariah was seeing. Right? Angels is not how to say it. All right. There is no woman angel because angels is not men. Right? Men have girlfriends, they have baby mothers. Men need does need a mother to breastfeed. You know what I'm saying? The men does need somebody for like the woman to take care of them sometimes, you know. There's no women angels, right? Because angels is not men. Men have those things, girlfriends, baby mothers. Men have those things, not angels. Right? Now you just have to visualize the vision to see what Zachariah was trying to explain here. Right? So what is an ephah? That's where you find it? Yeah. Right.
Indeed, so the one Bible dictionary, Victoria, sorry, not Victoria, compact. Bible dictionary, the ephah equals 3 seahs or 3/5 of a bushel.
Say that again?
Or it equals 3 seahs, SEAHS, or 3/5 of a bushel.
EHAH, right? Now that weights and measures. Right. So okay, yeah. Yes, so continue with what I'm sorry.
For they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up the ephah between the earth and the heaven. Instead, then said I to the angel that talked with me, whether these bear the ephah.
Right. That's already ephah.
Ephah equals 3 seahs, SEAHS, or 3/5 of a bushel.
Right, or 3/5 of a bushel, right? So, okay. To explain it better, ephah is like a measurement or a bowl that has a specific amount in it, right? Or like a measuring cup. Right? Because that is under weights and measures, you under, right? So it's like, yeah, it's like a measurement. So it's a measurement with a specific amount in it. And of course, you know, right, okay, so we will come to that. Right, so let me just, so it was a specific amount in it, right? So of course it was measuring the wheat, right, to sell it. Right, so it have two women with their stork wings. They have stork wings because it's big, right? It's big and large. So it could carry something heavy on it. The wings was big and large, stork wings. So it was big and large to carry something heavy on it. Right? And this ephah, it was heavy. Right? So the ephah is something heavy, so it will make you think it's full of wheat. Right? It wasn't, when you read the word down, you get to find it wasn't wheat, right? But the ephah, well, it was carrying wheat in it, so they had stork wings because the wings was big and large to carry something heavy. Right? So they carry the ephah up between where the Lord sits and where we sit, which is the sky, right? So there was kind of the ephah in the sky. We go real time, we go see that there was kind of in the sky. So the natural thing to do is to look up at the ephah. Right? That's the natural thing to do. You're looking up at the ephah. Right? And that is what people will naturally do, to look up to it. Right? And everyone will look up to it because it is good. Right? That is where you get bread from to eat. Right? So right. Verse 10. Yeah, go ahead.
Good question for me, right? So when you say the wings you're talking about is actually like wooden wings or something like that, or just you're talking about two handles, but you're talking about it in Islam?
Well, it was remember, it's a vision. The whole thing just a vision. So you were seeing these two women with stalk wings, right? And as you read it, you can see, but the stalk wings is some to hold something big and heavy.
Okay.
Right, which was the ephah that had the wheat in it.
Right.
Right. It was just a vision. He was just explaining. We can read it and read on and see. Give me verse 10.
Verse 10. Then said I to the angel that talked with me, whether these bear ephah.
Right. Whether these bear the ephah now. Now remember there is an angel talking to him, explaining to him what these visions are, right? Because higher up in from verse 9, that was the first vision about the chariots. From verse 9, he's talking about the ephah and this woman. Right? So this angel's talking to him about these visions. And the prophet said, why do they carry an ephah? Now the prophet saying, Zechariah, why do they carry this ephah? He's talking to the angel and saying that. And you see a word.
Verse 11. And he said unto me, to build it an house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set thereupon her own base.
Right? The land of Shinar. What is the land of Shinar? If you could find that in these on the Vantu and Tazo. See if you could find that the land of Shinar. Yeah, go ahead.
This is on the one from Bible Dictionary, China. Alluvial, plain of Babylonia.
That is it.
Of Babel.
Right, that is it. Babylon. So China is Babylon. Right? So the angel talking to Zacharias, like remember he asked him why them carrying this ephah, why these two women carrying this ephah. Right? So the angel let him know it is to build a house in the land of China or Babylon. To build a house in Babylon. Right? So the angel let me know here going on. These two feminine spirits is lifting up the wheat into the sky to build a home in Babylon. And it will be established and they will set her base, right, for Babylon to control the whole world. Right? The place that they're setting up in Babylon is for them to control the whole world. Right? Yeah, right.
And I believe I believe the general get it break down and also with the two women and also I believe they mentioned that it was like Egypt and Saddam.
Right, yeah.
Egypt and Saddam. Right? And going to more in the
Yeah, that is it. Give me read up in verse 6. Verse 6. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And I said, is it? So okay. And I said, is it? And he said, this is an ephah that goeth forth. He said, moreover, this is their resemblance to
right? So this is their resemblance shown. All right. So this is a barrel of wheat that goes forth. What is their resemblance through all the earth? This is their resemblance, right? Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Read it over again. I'm with 6.
Yeah. Verse 6. And I said, is it? And he said, this is an ephah that goeth forth. And he said, moreover, this is their resemblance throughout all the earth.
All right. So this is a barrel of wheat. This is their resemblance that goes through all the earth. So this barrel of wheat, it looks like something nice, something wonderful. This big fat bowl of wheat. Why it looks nice and so wonderful? Because everybody loves wheat. It's something to eat. So that is the resemblance throughout the earth, because it's looking so nice and so wonderful. That is the resemblance it's talking about. How it looks wonderful and nice, delicious. Right? This big fat bowl of wheat, because everybody wants that. Right? Everybody wants wheat because they could from it to eat. Right? So go on verse 7.
Verse 7. And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah.
So, okay, a talent of lead. Anybody know what is that? A talent of lead. Who knows what is that? A talent of lead. Is okay. Is some lead? Okay, is like a weight, right? Right. Is weight, right? So a talent is a coin, and the lead is the weight, right? And this is right, and the woman, right? And the woman, right? And that the woman, that is the ephah. So the talent is the coin, and the lead is the weight, right? And this is the woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah, right? So the woman sitting in the ephah, right? So I have a big fat wonderful bowl of ephah wheat, but really it is really a big wonderful bowl with what, right? I think it's a big fat bowl with wheats in it, but what really in it? Read it over again, so verse 7.
Book of Zechariah chapter 5 and verse 7. And behold, was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is a woman that sitteth in the midst of the ephah.
So we looking up to the sky, and big bowl of wheat up into the sky. But really and truly, what in the bowl is not wheat, but what inside of that ephah. What inside of it is not wheat. What inside of it?
So what is it?
Yeah, it has what?
Is it actual lead, sir?
Right, that is it. It's actual lead. That is what inside, because the woman that is the lead. I would say, right? And it's verse 7. It says, "And this is the woman." Right, verse 7 says, "And behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and this is the woman." Right? So that talent of lead is the woman that is inside of the ephah. It's not wheat, whereas the lead is what really inside. And the ephah, there is no wheat in it. Right? It only looks, but it had really not, it had nothing in it. Right? It had nothing in it that could satisfy. Right? The wheat was yet to satisfy. It had nothing inside it that could nourish or satisfy. It had nothing. Is the lead is what really in it. It looking wonderful, but inside that ephah it had nothing in it. Right? So what is the two women now? Right? That's what I just rightfully said, Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? One of the women is Egypt, one of the women is Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? And the ephah is what? Where's the ephah? So if one of the women is Egypt, the other woman is Sodom and Gomorrah, where's the ephah? If one of the women is Egypt and the other woman is Sodom and Gomorrah, then where's the ephah?
What the structure?
Good. So what?
The ephah is the religion and the philosophies of Egypt and Sodom.
Right, that is it. The ephah is the religion and the philosophy of Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? And they will establish their base in Babylon. Right? They will establish their base in Babylon. Right? That is all going on right now. A lot of people saying what the vaccine you will turn into a monkey. All kind of things they say about the vaccine. Right? They believe in all those kind of things that they see on the internet. Right? They're passing all kind of laws to make you become a homosexual and all kind of evilness. Right? That is the religion and philosophy of Sodom and Gomorrah and establishing the base in Babylon. Right? Babylon or captivity. Right? Yeah, verse 8, right here. Go ahead, verse 8.
Verse 8. And he said, "This is the wickedness," and he cast it into the midst of the ephah of lead upon the mouth thereof.
Right. Okay, and this is the wickedness. Right? So he said now that's wickedness because why? He sees lead going into the ephah and not wheat. Right? Just like a supermarket, you buy 5 pounds of flour, but really and truly it's not 5 pounds of flour you're buying, it's really 1 pound of flour you're buying. Right? So you see now this is wickedness, right? This is religion, right? Because how religion is, right? You're going in a Christian church, just sign up outside of the church. It looks wonderful, right? It looks wonderful and everything on the outside, Pastor Coffee had them big churches going up. Yeah, it looks wonderful. But when they really go inside and hear what they're saying, it really empty, it makes no sense. Teaching you to sin when you go to church. Right? That is what it basically is about. Right? It looks wonderful on the outside, the church, but the inside is nothing, it's emptiness, it's like lead. Right? So this is the religion of Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? This is the religion of Babylon. Right? And he cast the lead into the ephah. You cannot make bread with lead. You could only make bread with wheat. Right? So you can't make bread with that lead. right? But what could happen with the lead? The lead could kill you, though, right? You could only get killed, you know, or kill what family, your children with it, right? Because by you accepting that lead, you know, you're accepting that religion of Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, right? You're accepting into your life now being a drug dealer, you know what, all those evilness in the world, homosexuals, you know, being all those evilness, right? Not carrying brotherhood, you know. So those things, when you accept that lead, that is what has happened to you, right? I believe it have a precept in Revelation. See, give me Revelation 14 and 4.
Yes,
yeah, Revelation 14 and 4. Yes, sir, you're saying?
Google was giving a definition of the talent and the E for it. They say the talent was the largest measurement of weight, as the ephah was the largest measurement of volume.
Yeah.
Both symbolize the systems of weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is basically it, you know. It's weight and, you know, the ephah, the measurement. Alright. But give me Revelation 14 and 4. Revelation.
The book of Revelations 14 and 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Right, so these are they that have not been defiled with women, right? These are they that have not been defiled with women, right? So again, it just goes to show, you know, following women, you end up going astray. You understand? I believe that is what the Solomon was saying. He looked at 10,000 women and he could only find 1,000 righteous ones, something so like that. That's paraphrasing it, right? Out of 10,000, only it was just a few he could have find. All right. With our next piece of, let me see, Revelation. Revelation 11 and 8.
Like I said,
Go ahead.
the same Revelation 14 and 4, right? When they're talking about these are the which are not defiled with women, and the same women they're talking about doctrines, anyway.
Yeah, I was talking about religion and, you know. So this one here, I'm paraphrasing to the two men with Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah, religion and philosophy. Right, so yeah, 11 and 8, Revelation 11 and 8. We did the precept from Sodom and Gomorrah.
The book of Revelations 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, so which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? So that is the precept for the Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Christ was crucified, meaning his character was assassinated. And I was talking about that, right? Christ was crucified. In this Revelation 11 and 8, they was talking about his character was assassinated. How he was assassinated by religion, Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt. Religion assassinated Christ's character. They did it by telling the world Christ is some white pedophile who loves all races on the face of the earth. Right? We talk one more, Revelation 18 and 3. Revelation 18 and 3. Yeah. You have it on Barrett?
The book of Revelations 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Right, so when I was talking about her, this was just talking to show that, right, her fornication, the her was not talking about, what to say, an angel, right? Remember, they was talking about the two women in Zechariah, because they hear women, they say it are women angels. So, right, this her here in Revelation 18 and 3, it wasn't talking about an angel, right? It was just a metaphor. Again, and just like how some women, if you go into them, they will kill you, right? Because some women, the way how they just treat some men, you understand? They could kill you, right? So that was just using this as a metaphor to describe the women. It has some women who just do that, right? You go into them, you know, you're dead, right? So right, yeah, we need our topic, all right? So let me talk about.
So like I said,
Go ahead.
before you move on, right? Just to get the proper or the I.S.U.P.K breakdown for this Revelation 18 and 3 here. This the first itself talking about Babylon, right? Well, it's the philosophies and religion of Babylon, but it's talking about Babylon itself, right? Or is America, well, I want to get properly not to be able to make it out to explain it.
Okay, Revelation 18 and 3. Okay, we need to work in Barrett.
The book of Revelations 18 and verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication, rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
It's talking about Babylon and captivity, right? But you gotta leave high up in the verses to know that, right? But scripture here, verse 3, you know, okay, what the races have done to blacks people, to black and Hispanic people, God calls it a cup of fornication, right? All the races and them that make money from off of the destruction of blacks and Hispanic people, right? Because if he was not destroyed, we would have had our own businesses, right? But since we destroyed and we have no black leaders, our black leaders are weak, we have to depend on the other races. Right? When a black man tries to open up some business, there's always a lot of regulations and taxes you have to go through. But some other race, they ain't had to go through all them regulations and taxes. Right? So okay, so no country never really talks about the evil that America does do to all them, killing all them black people on the streets on a daily basis. Right? And why? It is because the kings of the earth agrees with what America is doing to all those, killing all those black people. The kings of the earth, all England and people in Europe, they agree with what America is doing to the black people. Right? Guys, yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's like I said from me again, right? So the kings of the earth is talking about the 7 heads. With 7 heads and 10 horns. They would be the kings of the earth. That would be Caucasian people that align with America was the same race, but they're the kings, like the top.
Well, right, yes. The top people, the kings are you, right? America is Babylon, right? Captivity. So the other, them other big countries and them, Russia, them places, you know, you don't hear. They don't hear them bad talking. America say, oh, let's stop that, or they're killing, stop it. Whereas we go intervene, you don't hear that because they agree. Yeah, go ahead.
So the kings is them, and then the nations will be the Indian, the Chinese, the Africans, and all of them. They will be the nations that side of them as well.
Well, they're going to be the other people that side of them. I don't want to use nation because nation is really a race. Right? So they're going to be the other countries that agree with them.
Right.
Right?
Oh.
So, go ahead.
So, I guess so explain it, when I'm breaking it down, explain it like the nations you're talking about is the other races, like Amon is the Japanese, Moab the Chinese, explain like that. And then the time the tricks and second address or something like that. We're talking about like there's give me a little bit of there's like the wounds at the dog.
Right, there's like the wounds at the dog. Well, like the wounds at the dog is talking about what? The wounds at the dog is talking about what?
I mean, that is come somewhere or something like that.
Right. So the easing we suffering.
Right.
Right. Okay. Whatever merchants could be.
So,
let me see.
So I guess
Sure.
when I read through down the same verse, right, for all the nations have drink of the wine of the wrath of the fornication, and have committed fornication with her. It will count when I check it in now, it will count be the 7 minutes because
go ahead.
It can't be the 7 minutes because they say with her. That means it's somebody that's following the church.
Right.
But if the 7 minutes is very one, I've seen it, right? So it has to be like the king that uses really all the other, let's say, I give it all the other nations itself.
Right. So the big countries, right? Because then after I say the merchants of the earth now are rich,
right,
through the abundance of our delicacies.
Right.
Right. So that is talking about yeah, go ahead.
If this may have the question as well, right? Because I wanted to know, okay, who was the people when you explain it directly responsible for doing the atrocities and let's say Russian and have documentation and saying this is how we're going to treat them. Like how America treat Osama Constitution. So this how it is applied to it. So the things that they committed fornication with that is them actually doing things that making sure that they have a system of oppression for us. And the other nations then would be like the merchants who this profit offer them. So they're not actually directly committing fornication with them, like actually doing anything to them, but they're making money off of our oppression.
Right.
Yeah, so they don't stop, but they're making money. They're making merchandise there.
Right. Yes. I will take that. It's like that. Right. So Russia and all those other countries, them is the kings are the youth. Right. They Now they don't say stop what they're doing. They don't know them as the Israelites.
Right.
Give them back all their money. Oppressing Venezuela. Nobody saying nothing. Right. And the merchants now will be the others. The other, I want to say lower class, but maybe right below the kings and them. Right. So we might say, well, India, there is the merchants making money off of us. And then directly attacking us. They're attacking us, right? But not directly as how you see them other kings and America attacking us. Go ahead.
So I guess I want to class a bit long, right? But I want to forget, right? So later on, if you get the breakdown for this one, Russia was selling oil to Venezuela. What would be the actual way to break down that is not help? But that is a way that they see that they can get control to get money. Like the way I should break it down there.
Well, that's that one. Russia was selling oil to Venezuela. I know the Middle East, Iraq, yeah.
Russia. I think it's either oil or help, but they are selling goods itself. Yeah. And America blocked it off from coming across.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Russia, yeah, the were just using them to remember Venezuela as the #1 oil. So if it had a war to start out, Russia done lock down the oil in Venezuela. You know, it's just how you using them.
Right.
So yeah. Right. So 12, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was. Find out some more about it later on. Okay, so we was going into the years, all right. We just start with the Passover, right? Right. Right, so yeah, we start with the Passover. Right, give me Exodus 5 and verse 1. Right, Exodus chapter 5 verse 1.
Exodus chapter 5 and verse 1. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. And Pharaoh said, Who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? The Lord, neither will I let Israel go.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. And they said, The power of the Hebrew had met with us. Go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our power. Let least he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword.
Right, so Moses and Aaron telling Pharaoh here all going on. The Lord of Israel said, Let the people go, that we may hold a feast unto him in the wilderness. Pharaoh said, Hey, who's the Lord? Who is he that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? Pharaoh said, I don't know no Lord, so and neither will I let Israel go. Right? Then they say in here, then they said, the God of the Hebrews have met with us, right? And we pray that we go a 3 days journey into the desert and sacrifice unto the Lord. Right? Because if we don't do that, pestilence will fall upon us, or with the sword. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 4. And the king of Egypt said, Wherefore do you, Moses and Aaron, let the people from their work get you unto your burdens?
All right, so the king of Egypt saying, here we go on, Moses and Aaron, you want to stop the people and them do their work? Nah, you can't stop them from doing their work. Let them continue to do it. Let them go ahead and continue to do all the burdens that they have. You understand? Planting cotton, digging the ground, doing masonry. Let them go ahead. Use you to tell them stop their works. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And Pharaoh commanded the same day.
That's not verse 5. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and you may take them rest from their burdens.
Okay.
Verse 6. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, verse 7, You shall no more give the people straw to make bricks, as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves.
Right. So, okay, in other words, Pharaoh say, you know what? Let me make it harder on them. Right? You want to make them rest from their burdens, let me make it harder on them. Right? We will put supervisors over them now. Right? And we're gonna make it hard for them. They ain't gonna be they shall no more give people straw to make brick. Right? So let them go and gather the straw for themselves. Right? They had to go and gather the straw for themselves now. Then gain these straws and making the brick. They had to go and get these straws, and when they get it, they had to come back and make the bricks. Right? So now, when you read that scripture there now, the Lord killed the Egyptians. Why? When you read from verse 1 to 7, why did the Lord kill the Egyptians?
Yes, because he was asking for 3 days period so they could come and sacrifice to the Most High.
Right. So the Lord killed the Egyptians because he didn't want Moses and Aaron to have a 3 days journey to the wilderness to the Lord. Right? Or have sacrifice unto the Lord. Right? And how old Moses was? Anybody know?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Tazo.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that one scripture says he was 4 small. He was over 80.
80.
Yeah. When he returned to Egypt. When he leave Egypt, when he come back, he was 4 square. I think that was scripture says 4 square years. So over 80.
Okay. All right. I believe it's 80 or. Let's see what I got. Give us 7 and 7. Exodus 7 and 7.
Come on, God. Yeah.
Yeah. Read it.
Exodus chapter 7 and verse 7. And Moses was 4 score years old, and Aaron 4 score and 3 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh.
Right. So Moses was 18.
Okay.
Aaron was what? 83.
Okay.
So Aaron was okay. Okay. That's right. All right. Give me Exodus 11 and verse 4. Exodus 11 and verse 4. Right.
Okay. Read.
Yeah, go ahead.
Exodus chapter 11 and verse 4. And thus said the Most High, about midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the mill, and all the firstborn of beasts.
And so all the firstborn of everything, the Lord is going to kill. Beasts, everything. Right? The firstborn, the Lord is going to kill. Go ahead, continue.
God, verse 6. And there shall be a great cry of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move its tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doeth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
All right, so when these things going on, the Lord saying, hey, not a dog go move his tongue, right? No African go move his tongue, right? Because the Lord saying, hey, it have a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, right? It have a huge difference, right? Israel is not Africans. We don't do the things that they just do. We may like it because we was in slavery for over almost 400 years. You know, in Egypt, so we end up getting accustomed to it. That's why when we left Egypt, all right, some of us was attached so much with bad talk Moses and say, yeah, I want to go back to Egypt and eat what them used to be eating. You know, and worship what them used to be worshiping. All right, but there's a huge difference. You understand? All right, give me the scripture with the tendency beginning at around the year. Scripture is that?
I don't do it. Ready, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Exodus 12 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
So of course we all know that the beginning of the month does between March and April, right? The year begins on the Passover, right? Which is the ending of March or beginning of April, around that time, March or April. And of course, the term April Fools started when the heathens and them used to mock us, because we believe the year started in April, right, or March, and they had believed the year started in January, right, with the god Janus, right? So they started to mock us, saying, hey, you all are fools. You all believe, the beginning of the year starts in April. You all are fools. Then it became known as, you all are the April Fools. Then they say, April Fools. That is where, that's how April Fools started. Dark Ages. That is when it all started. Right back then around the whole Dark Age, that April Fools. Right? Okay, let's do a little history about the god Janus and Cronus. Before the Cronus, we'll go look it up. Cronus was the god of time. Janus was the god of beginning. Let's see. Whoever can look it up, this type in Cronus as the god of time. Barati, you have it? Cronus or Janus, anyone?
Cronus was the king of the Titans and the when viewed as a destructive, all-devouring force. He ruled the cosmos during the Golden Age after castrating and deposing his father.
The thing is, Uranus. Yeah, in disguise, right? So he castrated his father, Uranus, right? And Cronus is the god of time, right? Yeah, go ahead. It's no more? Okay, well, it's a bit more to it, but Cronus is the god of time. We'll look up Janus, right? God of time, he castrated his father, Uranus, in fear of a prophecy, right? That he would in turn be overthrown by his son, Cronus, right? So Cronus swallowed each of his children as they were born. Rhea, she managed to save the youngest son, which is Zeus, by hiding him in an island called Crete, right? And then and fed Kronos a stone wrapped in swaddling cloth. So Kronos come to swallow his son, right? Because he's saying one day he might be overthrown by his son. So he had children. He went and eat all his babies, but Rhea saved Zeus and wrapped up a piece of stone. He thinking I Zeus, but she hides Zeus in Crete. Right, so there is all this Greek mythology here. Let's talk about Kronos, he's the god of time. Right, here Janus now, Barrett.
In ancient Rome religion and myth, Janus, pronounced Janus in the god of beginnings, gates, transition time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. He is usually depicted as having two faces, since he looks to the future and to the past. It is true that the month of January is named.
Right, so in his Roman mythology again, he was preside over doors and passages and gates. This one was facing the past and one was facing the future. Right, that's who the god Janus was. Right, there's the god of beginning. That's why they name it after January. Right, everything the Greeks and them name after a god. Everything you could think about your shoes, you name after some god. Right, everything. Of course, the lunar calendar is what was used by the Israelites, which uses the moon to tell us the new month. Right? And every new moon means it is a new month. Right? That was the lunar calendar. That is how it was. Of course, they changed the calendar. Right? You give me Daniel 7:25. I believe it's around 50 or 40 BC where they started to implement the Julian calendar, right? And said that January is the beginning of the year. Right? Julius Caesar, he implemented calendar and said that the Roman calendar needs reform. Right? So the Roman calendar used to follow the lunar calendar, right, which was the 10 months. Then Julius Caesar, he added on 67 days to the calendar. And one of his names was named after him and his adopted son, Augustus Caesar. Right? Who are the scripture? Chapter 7, verse 5.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, and the time and the divining of time,
Right, that's it. Right, so he shall speak against the Most High, meaning, all right, if he's speaking against the Most High, he's saying God loves everybody. All of us, all laws is done away with. Right? You want any law will still love you. Right, that's what it means speaking against the Most High, right? And shall wear us out, meaning his holidays like Christmas, New Year. All those days they will wear us out because we painting the house, changing the curtain, cooking all these food for the feast days. To have the feast unto them. Right? So it will wear us out. Right? But buying stuff for the house, the next day for work. You don't even have money to travel to work the next day. First you spend out your money on everything. You understand? So that I mean by the wearing out the saints and them. Right? We shall change the times and the laws. Right? Chinese and them. Give me Jeremiah 48 and 11. Go ahead.
Because I said people have money to go to work tomorrow.
We have money to go to work tomorrow, yeah.
Jeremiah 48 and 11 already.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jeremiah 48 and verse 11. Moab had been at ease from his youth, and he had settled on his lees, and had not been emptied from vessel to vessel, neither had he gone into captivity. Therefore his taste remained in him, not changed.
Right, and his senses is not changed. So this is talking about the Chinese calendar, it never changed, right? Because he has at ease with his youth and settled on his lees, meaning he sits comfortable, so he's settled at ease. It's like the orange pulp juice again, it's settled at the bottom, the orange pulp juice, when they shake it up, it goes on his with his at ease at his. That's why it is like the pulp settle long, it ain't shaking up and going all over the place. Settle long. That's how the Chinese and them is. Them calendars never change. Right? Them is always settled. Right? The Israelite customs now is seasons, not time. Heathen's customs is time, not season. Right? But again, we under the what I was saying before, the with the two women, we under the Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah religions and the philosophies and the doctrines. So we gonna be following their doctrines and their religion and their custom. But originally our customs was season, it wasn't time. Heathens and them customs is time, not season. Alright. So here, give me Exodus 12 and 26. Exodus 12 and 26.
Book of Exodus chapter 12 and verse 26. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service?
All right, go ahead. When your children come and say, what you mean by this?
27. That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Most High's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their head and worship.
All right, so when we children now come and say, what is the meaning of this service? All right, so April 24th come, the Passover reach. The children and them don't know nothing. What is the meaning of this service? You see, yeah. You see, You have to tell them this is the sacrifices that the Lord passed over. Right? When he passed over the houses of the children of Egypt, and he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses. And the people bowed the head and worship the Lord. This is why we're doing this here. God, the Passover, when the Lord delivered us. Right? Let me hear 11 6, Exodus 11 6.
Book of Exodus 11 and verse 6. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall it be like it anymore.
Right? There's going to be a great cry. Right? And there was a great cry throughout the land of Egypt. So all this is what you go tell the children when they ask about the Passover. Okay, the next precept 11, Exodus 11 6 too. There shall be a great cry throughout the land. Right? Such as there was none like it, nor shall there be like it anymore. You understand? All those things. So again, the beginning of the year is not January, right? The beginning of the year is between, or I should say March or April, around that time, March, April, right? That is really the beginning of the year. Not all these them gods, the god of Jan or something, or we celebrating because we under the doctrines of devils, right? We under the religions of devils. You understand? That is racism. They want to say we racism because we racist because we love black people. You understand? Them racist because they force me into Christianity. And we destroy today because of it. Today we destroy because of Christianity. We believe in Santa Claus. You understand? We believe in the beginning of the year is really in January. We believe Joseph and Mary didn't have sex. That's how destroyed we is because of Christianity. You understand? We so destroyed, we don't even want to take a vaccine. That's how destroyed we is. We don't even want to take a vaccine. We creating all sorts of rumors. We believe in all sorts of rumors. Just because we don't want to take the vaccine. You understand? That's how destroyed we is. But again, if it wasn't in the Christian church, and we come in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, we got courage. You understand? That angel Uriel who does give us courage, he go give us courage. He will come and say, all right. The angel Uriel will come and say, all right, these brothers here, they're not in the Christian church, they're in the U.P.K. I'm going to give them some courage. You understand? Let's come to class, we showing all of the proof. We showing all of where Simeus was the first person to get vaccinated, or he vaccinated was created by slaves. You understand? So we have none to fear. But people today will say now, the argument with you saying the vaccine is a disease they injected into you. How you go let somebody choke a disease into you? Don't let nobody inject no disease into you where you get sick, you go dead. Some of them saying you go turn into a monkey, you go turn into a zombie. But then when you really go into the science now, yes, it's a disease they inject into you, but it's a small strand of the disease that they inject into you for your body to create the antibodies. And that what Simeus did in 1716. And he take out the pus from when they had smallpox, he take out the pus from an infected person and put the pus into his flesh. So he cut open the flesh and put the pus into the flesh. And that was the first time vaccine ever really started in 1760 from smallpox, from a slave. So let's stop believing in what we're hearing on Facebook and YouTube. Stop believing what we're hearing on the internet. Let's go and take the vaccine. Let's go and take the vaccine and to be scared about This is states invented the vaccine. Right? Tell them to be scared about. And just go and take it. You know, our brothers in the school taking it already. Right? They're all up on Facebook. If you go up, you will see them, they're taking it. Alright? It's no secret. Just take the vaccine. We go and take the vaccine. This is not a secret. Alright, so who one Shaman? Tazo, you alright, no sweat. So yeah, with that, let's pass the class over Christian Officer Tazo.
What about it? Pass me the security. Security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 121st Street out of New York, under command of GEN.YAHANNA. New rules, brothers and sisters. When a new brother comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world after 6 months. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Right? There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is the commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10, means tenth in Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the church department or teacher. What's it called? Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. A common holy convocation. What a warrior. Yeah. All right. It's the feast of Purim, right? The 14th day of the 15th, right? The 14th and 15th day Salakia of the 12th month. Thursday, February 25th, right? And Friday, February 26th of 2021, right? You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 to 31. To whatever sheet, right? Remind Akim, which means brothers, and Akwatian, which means sisters, to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and whichever social media you're on, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headband or scarf, and with that we say imagine, which means to stand upon your hakodam, turn and face the east. Alright. Say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew first, alright? Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatka, Tabaa, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Ayah, Washemayim, Tananaw, Makam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalaknaw, Kabubatnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabubatinaw, Walaa, Tabara'inaw, Wanasaiwan, Abal, Awashainaw, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'ala, Ataparat, Laiwalamyam, Aman.
In English, what we said was, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
All right, this is the prayer for the blessing for the structure in school, for structure in school. Brakataya Hawa, Awaya Oshai, Magala, Malaya, Matazabia, Alawapian, Alawapian, Asiranian, Akotazanian, Akielelian, Makwatian, Yahawa, Bashem, Yaoshai, Wadaman.
Right? In English, what we said was, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angels.
Commanding General
General.
General. Captain. Officer.
Troopers.
And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. All right, let's pray for the power in Hebrew, the Hakak. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Babakasha, Tananau, Aka, Rapa, Kalmakala, Kalmadawa, Aka, Lataha, Amatizarim, Aka, Laquim, Amathium, Aka, Alrakawat, Atamal, Lagarashan, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wadaman.
Alright, I'm in English now. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. Alright, this is the I.S.U.P.K curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. All things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite. And the school send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen and shake loose the church of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school force their riches and think like sanctuary send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nation and the drug dealers, court systems, prison systems, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Fuzzy gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the areas, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit, any of thy people, that seek to stop us, bring self-destruction to all the heathen, that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let's loose all the plagues. Let's loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, Gabriel, down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all. The angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you all.
Thank you always.
So be it.
All right, this is the prayer to bless this journey. The Hebrew first, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Raknanau, Bayat, Sapari, Barak, Apa, Magan.
Kellyanne Tashika, Kobe. All the brothers and sisters fighting to come into the truth. And all the brothers and sisters in the truth.
Commander General YAHANNA.
General. captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children,
destroyed of Israel,
brothers
and sisters fighting the community truth,
brothers and sisters,
brothers and sisters in the truth,
all
12 tribes of the nation of Israel, I.S.U.P.K worldwide and their families, I.S.U.P.K Trinidad and Tobago and their families,
Commander GEN.YAHANNA, generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, brothers and sisters fighting the community truth, brothers and sisters in the truth. Captain Sakawazrim, the Destroy Division, and all our families. Next brother.
Commander
GEN.YAHANNA, generals, captains, officers, troopers, sisters, children, all the Destroy Division, all those fighting the community truth.
Brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K,
brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K,
brothers and sisters fighting the community truth,
brothers and sisters fighting the community truth.
Children and babies in I.S.U.P.K, family, wrong family, Zion, Wesleyan, Daniela, Jamila, Trisha, Ashida, Ireland, Nima, Khadija, Chantel,
all the brothers and sisters fighting the community truth. I.S.U.P.K Global, all the 12 tribes and the nation of Israel, and mercy and the destroyer of Israel, the Bawa, Alicia, Aliyah, Teresa, Joyce.
Ba'ashem Yahushai,
All
right,
right, and what we said was, Lord, in the name of Yahushai, bless us, and Israel, and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect all of us, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it.
Whenever you're on which means the turn, you're going to give the teacher online Akadisi Salute, Salakia. Whenever you're imagine Shabbat, I imagine, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Brakatah. Yajimata, Sa, turn again, 50 sisters. We're going to give the sisters online Akadisi Salute. Whenever you're imagine Shabbat, I imagine, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Yajimata, class dismissed.